Hi, this is me. Let me check if if you're able to what I'm doing. Yeah, what I'm saying. Sorry. This is here. It is. Let me share this with myself. Yeah, here. One moment, please. Open WhatsApp. This one. Yeah. So welcome today. Today is the second day of me doing this kind of stuff. Um, yesterday I was upgrading my website and I created a new form and also I connected all the logic behind that. So now I can receive my I can receive requests from users of my website. And today, I realized that although that was a good example, I realized that I needed to improve how I'm tracking every project that I'm developing. So right now, today, I set myself to set a Jira account, not the Jira account itself, but how I would set up the environment to track this kind of projects. This time, as I am the manager and the creator, like I'm the developer, I won't be using Scrum or anything like that. I would be just working with Kanban because that's easier to to track for myself. um, when you are tracking and you're managing, you're overseeing a project that depends on how you're gonna deliver the results. Like uh, if it is a continuous delivery, it would be better to use Scrum. And if it is like an ongoing task, it would be better if I can, I mean, a Kanban can be useful, but also you can make it as useful and professional as you want, because you can integrate multiple applications into Jira, and you can track a lot of things. Like, for example, where I work, one of my jobs, we have some software that track our progress. For example, we use HubSpot, and you can integrate that into Jira. Also, you can integrate Slack into Jira, and you can integrate GitHub into Jira. So it would be more useful to track all the projects and the tickets and stories there. But as I am the only developer in this one, I am the developer and the one that is managing the stuff, because this is a personal project. I'm only using Canva, but I already decided that I'm gonna create two projects today. The first one is my personal website. I won't be working on my website today, but I will be setting the environment, the Jira environment, so we can track all the stuff that I've done. And the second one is a project that I have in mind. So I'm gonna outline and explain what I want to achieve. Not necessarily, I mean, the goal today is not to develop the full project. It is like setting the boundaries and defining the problem and how we are going to develop it. And in other chapters, I would be working on how I'm gonna develop it, like mm, the chosen technology, and maybe defining stories and all the stuff. But today I would be creating just the project for both. I mean, the Jira project for both projects. I don't know if you are able to hear me. I hope so. So I'm gonna check that the audio is going through. Let me check it with my telephone, my cell phone, and let me see. Telephone, my cell phone. Yeah, yeah. I'm able to watch it, to listen to it. So I, I I'm all set up. Well, what you're seeing right now, this is yesterday when I was developing. Well, I was improving my website. This is what I got for yesterday. What I want to put this task into Jira. So right now, I'm going to set a Jira project, and I'm gonna walk you through that. I'm gonna share with you another screen. Let me pick it up. This is the Jira, this one, because it is important. Let me check if you are watching what I'm watching. Okay, this is a free account. You can open a free account for Jira if you don't have like any language, only if you only want to test how it works. It's, I wouldn't say that it is intuitive, but you get used to it quickly. Obviously, that depends on your level of expertise when managing projects. Because, for example, if you haven't done this before, you have to know that there is like an epic type of work. I think that's how they call it. And an epic is like a major thing, and then you have a story, and then you have tasks, and you can create spaces, and spaces usually are projects. So if you are working with multiple projects, you can have all of them in the same Jira environment. But also you can uh, yeah, I lost track of what I was saying, but yes, you can have multiple projects, and inside each project, you can have epics, you can have story, and you can have a task. Usually, you share that with your team, and you can track everyone on the team can see what is doing, who is doing what, and how the project is progressing. And that is helpful because you can watch. I mean, you can track if you are the project manager, if you are the one that is tracking the timeline. You can see if you are really gonna make it. And also you can track how much time, well, if you set your environment to do so, you can see how much time is being used. I'm telling you this because sometimes you don't work with somebody. I mean, your team is not like in-house, employees, and you pay them by hour. And if you pay them by hour, it is important. For example, if you said like you're the project manager, and you said when after discussing the task with the team that it would be done in 10 effective hour, you can track how much of that budget is being used, or is already used. And you can compare it with how much you have done of that task, and you can foresee and forecast if you are gonna be on time. Remember that we can discuss time and time management, and how to set up and define each task, and in terms of time and buffer time and all the stuff. But this is not the goal for today. So I'm gonna start doing what I wanted to do today. I'm gonna set up the two projects, and for the first one, I'm gonna add the task that I already completed yesterday. And for the other one, maybe we can talk about how I mean, my vision in general of the new project that I'm gonna develop. For this one, well, I'm using this live, so I can record everything that I'm doing. And as you're ready, you can see it. Like, you can choose here what you want to do. Uh, and there's like there's a product roadmap and all this stuff. But as I told you, I already know that that I want to use Kanban for this project, like my personal website, because this is an ongoing project. I am the stakeholder and the developer and the project manager. So it's like I'm doing all the tasks. So it won't be shared with anyone else. So for me, Kanban works, and it could be useful for you even if your team is not organized in that way. If you are a freelancer, you can use this type of tools to organize your work yourself, like to keep a record of what you've done. Obviously, if that is if you don't have any other source of track, because for example, I work as a developer for different companies, and those companies have their own system to track how much we are advancing or we are progressing on the work on. But in that case, it would be like easier to track. But if you are a freelancer, you don't have, and like you have multiple clients, but you don't know and you don't remember um, uh, how much or what specifically have you done for that client, it would be useful to have at least one Kanban. I wouldn't say that this is the simplest one. I like Jira because I worked before with Jira, but you can have I don't remember. Yes, Trello. Trello is another tool that you can use, and it's the same thing. It's like uh, for this one for project management and time tracking and task tracking. The important thing is that the tool helps you to track the task, and also it it is good. It fits the needs of your team. If your team is good being tracked with Trello, well, do it with Trello. Even you can, I mean, for teams that works on the same place, they may prefer a big dashboard, uh, like and use Post-it. And this is just an alternative, a way to do it. This is not the only one that you can use. But without any further ado, I'm gonna start doing this. This is like very easy. You can use when you are creating this, you can see how it is set up, because this is like a template. And for example, this is what I was talking about. The work types, you can have an epic, story, bug, task, and subtasks, and that depends on how you want to distribute or and organize your project, your tracking system. And also you have the workflow. To do it are the all the tasks that will be done but are not started yet. In progress are all the tasks that are being done now, and done is when it's finished. And you have to know that to be marked as done, it should meet all the criteria for the acceptance criteria. It's like it's important to define what are the rules to be accepted. Um, Sometimes this is not enough for some projects. You need uh, to separate and divide progress into a more specific state. For example, if we are working with multiple environments, maybe you want to track when it is on staging or on on the development environment, or finally on production. Maybe you want to know if it is in QA and which stage of QA it is. So that depends on your team and how that is organized. But you can, I mean, you can do it in the way you want. But as I'm doing this for myself, this workflow and these work types are enough for me. So I'm gonna use this template, and uh, let's fill the information here. This is Waldo website. How thing manage? Okay, yeah. And assets open, and the key would be OSW just because that's my name, and I like that. Use a I mean, the key for the key, it is important to use something that is easy to track back to your project, because if you have multiple projects, you need to be aware and finally, I mean, easily identify the project that you are working on. So next, it's well, you can customize this. I think I would be only working with Epic Tag Story. Well, indeed, let's do it all of them, because it doesn't matter if you are, like, if you need anyone. You can, as you can see, you can add your own work type, but now we are not adding that. And yeah, that was what I was telling you, like, to do in progress in review if you have a QA, if in QA uh, team, and done. And you obviously you can add, for example, whatever you can say, like staging if you have a staging. But as I don't have a staging for my website, this is more than enough. um, I would even make it like easier and simpler by only having, like, I will only have to do in progress, done and done. That's it. And the views, I would say that I don't know if start with is okay. I think that's okay. That it doesn't matter much. Um, and you can obviously add to it your teammate, but as I don't have it, I'm gonna leave it as it is. So now I can work on that, and I'm gonna, as promised, I'm gonna um, add the new one. This is a, let's call it a feature, and this feature is um, the contact form, and that's it. And you can select this and add more information. This is OSWB, I think, and you can add all the information. I already had this in this other, like, description. Well, you know what we are gonna do? We are gonna add for this feature, just to know that we created a feature. We are gonna add a task that is this one, that is implement. Okay, implement content form to my website, and in this one, I'm gonna add the description. And I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna add all the details and all the breakdown. That depends on how you create your tickets. But sometimes when you are doing this, you can you have a special part. I don't know if that depends on if you are working with a free version of Jira or not. You can have like another tab for a breakdown, and you can add it to that. But right now, eh, I only I am adding to the description everything that needs to be done. And yeah, right now I think I'm lacking the acceptance criteria, but I will leave it like that because I wanted to link it to another items, because in my mind what I want to do is to have a feature like this is form, and everything related with form would be added to it. So let me see uh, the way it is better to do it, because add task, choose existing, no option. Okay, I don't have. Let me see if I link is blocked by is duplicated. Okay, so it's not working like that. Okay, let's select all. We select this one. I think I don't think as a related. Well, the thing is that now we have it like this feature, and this feature have this task that is task number one, that I don't know why it is called task number one. Okay, this is not how I want it. I want it like, you know what? I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna say that it is related to, is blocked by, no, it is relates to E and this one. So like this, I have like link perfect. This is already done. That's why I'm gonna change it to done. This is assigned to me. Yes, this is no, this one. This is already done because we did it yesterday. And how it's looking, yeah, I only wanted to create this like this. And finally, for today, we are gonna create another Kanban, but this is for a new project that I'm gonna start tomorrow. Let me check something first here. Let me check if it is looking good. This one. Well, great. So the next project, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of it. Let me see. Well, I can see it from here. The next project that I'm gonna create, this is something that I learned uh, recently because I was studying. I was learning more about emotional agility and all this stuff. And but I don't remember exactly where I found or I discovered or I learned this. But it seems like sometimes when you are wanting to be productive, but it's like you are working toward a goal, but most of the time we fool ourselves saying that we are doing something when we are not doing that something. It's like when you have a goal, you have to prepare for that goal, but you also have to action in order to get that goal. And sometimes we get stuck in the preparation phase. It's like we keep preparing and preparing and making it better. And if you see that from outside, it seems like you are very busy, you are occupied, like you are doing great stuff, you are busy, you don't have time. But in reality, you are fooling yourself trying to improve something instead of starting something, like put all the things in action. It's like I was suffering from it because I was saying, well, I would like to start streaming and doing all this stuff, but it's like I was, well, but I need this, but I need that, whatever. The thing is that I came with this idea of creating a web application, and I decided a web application that I wanted to create a web application because that's what I do. I work with web application, not with other type of application. I don't work with Android. I don't work with that. And as what I want to create is an application where I can track all the things that I've done in a day, and uh, I'm gonna use AI to classify those activities into two main groups, like preparation and action. And at the end of the day and at the end of the week, I can have a score of how much I am taking actions into my goal. Obviously, for that we need to set all the real track that I have, and we have to add all the activities that we have done, and AI will classify. And I'm gonna do this just to raise awareness of how much is really a job that is promoting a change in us, like is putting us closer to our goal, and which one are preparation or are tasks that are just serving the purpose of fooling ourselves. I'm not saying that preparing is for full and you don't need to prepare. You need to prepare. But a there is a moment in that preparation when you have enough to start. And I think that is linked to this concept of the minimum viable product. Because yes, it's like you need the only thing that you really need is the basic stuff. You don't need more than that. For example, if you are streaming, you need a computer, a internet, you need a camera, and maybe the idea. Well, the idea, you need the idea, but even with the idea, you you can figure it out like while you are trying to do it. You can go live and still don't have an idea of exactly what you want to do, but you can go live. And what would be something that it is not I mean, you don't need, for example, that's what I wanted to say, you don't need a better camera, you don't need a better lighting, you don't need a better background, you don't, that's something that that can be improved, that but it doesn't change, mm, the I mean, it doesn't influence that. I mean, it's not important in terms of uh, getting started with something. And that's that's a summary of the application that I want to develop as a as a test, and as a yeah, that's what I want to record right now. So this is the Jira that I'm going to create right now, and let's see how I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it um, what would be a good name for this type of application? It's like I would like it to be like very productive. Like, well, you know, I'm gonna call it uh, ready or not, or maybe I could call it ready or not. Because remember, readiness is not an state; it's a decision. You are or you are ready when you decide that you are ready. It doesn't mean that uh, that you it doesn't mean that you don't need improvement and optimizing and getting better at what you do, but the decision that you have to make is I am ready to at least try to step into this new path and start doing things. So decision, readiness, and be ready is a decision. It's not a state. You if you are waiting to be ready. I mean that's not gonna happen because that's a decision of you. So as before, we are having all the same things because that's how I'm gonna work, and this is not that important to do now. As I've done this for a while now, and I explained already the idea, I think this is a good moment to stop doing this, like to end the stream and get ready for tomorrow because maybe tomorrow we can define all the aspects of my application. Maybe tomorrow we could use AI to make it better, like define the task, define the stories, because one of the things that we do when we are developing a software is that sometimes we develop task and how we are gonna work using story. uh, and those stories are based on the user, the final user. For example, if you are not familiar with this type of work, or yeah, you can define, for example, as a user, as a user of this application, obviously, I want to be able to log into my account using my Gmail account, for example. And with that story, we, the developers, we see how we can take that user. Uh, I mean, how we can develop that feature so the user get what he wants. For example, that is very simple, and there is a structure to it that is well known. Like we need to define uh, the user and the action and why this action is important. For example, me as the user of the application, I want um, to sign up using my email account because uh, I don't want to create a new password for this application. So with that story, we start working on a project. Obviously, those stories can be improved to better reflect what the user want. But as we are just starting with this string and this channel, we are gonna make it very simple. And yes, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. For today, it has been like a very good stream. So I guess no. Tomorrow I will be doing more of this. So bye. Let me see how I look. Um, yeah. Bye. That's it.